Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. I am Nurul Hawa Aminah binti Nasruddin from ED2606. I will be the first presenter for today's presentation. For today, I will be presenting about toys in general and also toys in teaching science. So, this is a little sneak peek of the outline for today's presentation, where I will be talking about the definition of toys, categories of toys available nowadays, factors to be considered in selecting toys for effective science teaching, and lastly, I will talk about toys in teaching science, such as how it is applied in science teaching. There are a lot of definition and interpretation of toys, but according to Sebastian Ditterding, Professor of Design Engineering that also worked as a researcher specializing in persuasive and gameful design, stated that toys and games are objects designed to facilitate play and have a lot of beneficial positive effects. Most educational toys are able to help children to learn in a fun way and benefits them through all the new knowledge that they gain from the toys itself. Other than that, toys are tools that children use in an action involving fun and learning. Just like I mentioned before, most toys allow children to have fun and lead to a beneficial consequences where they will gain new knowledge and experience from the toys. Next, Sir Vygotsky quoted that leading source of development is described as children's play, where in Vygotsky cultural historical theory, play is an important part of early childhood. In short, toys contributes to the development of cognitive, motor, psychosocial, emotional, and linguistic skills. Next, we will move to the categories of toys, where there will be 7 categories of toys that I will explain. The first 2 categories of toys are exploratory toys and construction toys. Exploratory toys are toys created for babies and toddlers, where a range of everyday objects are given instead of real proper toys. This type of toys encourage children to investigate and explore anything that interests them the most. With this type of toys, adult supervision is required, but adult intervention should be minimal so that children can freely explore the toys or items without being restricted. Example of exploratory toys are soft manipulative cube and wooden toys. While for construction toys, also known as manipulative play, is a type of play a child engages in when manipulating objects or toys to construct or create something. The child will explore the materials and items in his or her environment and learns and creates something new. Example of construction toys are building brick set and robotic magnetic building cubes. Construction toys encourage hand-eye coordination and fine motor skills. The next category of toys is games and puzzles. A puzzle is a toy that tests a person's knowledge. For example, 3D building puzzles or magnet puzzles. Other than that, we also have sports and recreation toys, where it is usually the types of toys that are handled outdoor, such as slingshot and ping pong set. Our next toys category is imaginative play. In imaginative play, children engage when they role play and act out based on their experiences or act out something that they are interested in. Imaginative play helps children to do decision making on how to behave and indirectly practice their social skills. The example of this kind of toys are puppet theatre. Next is art and craft. The types of toys under this category involve the creation of something with one's own hand, such as origami kit and moldable clay. The last category of toys is musical toys. Musical toys are divided into two types, which are toy musical instruments such as wooden violin and toys that play music such as chime ball. Now, we will move on to the factors to be considered in selecting toys for effective science teaching. The first factor that need to be considered is very obvious, where the toys need to be science related so that we can apply science concepts to it and gain better understanding about the science concept. Second, it has to be appealing and interesting, especially if the toys will be used by toddlers because they tend to lose interest very quickly. Thirdly, the toys should be cost-effective so that all students would be able to afford the toys. If a toy chosen is expensive, not all students will have the opportunity to buy the toy and apply scientific concept to it. Number 4, another important factor is in terms of safety. The toys selected need to follow the safety guideline for different age groups during testing. This includes limiting cord length and magnet strength according to the age group. Lastly, the toys need to be suitable for the child's mental and social development because educational toys can help develop problem-solving skills, teach children about motor skills, and many more. Now, I will explain about toys in teaching science. Through toys, children of all ages can utilize toys to see and identify science in their everyday life. Other than that, the scientific concept that is applied and explained through toys can improve creativity, problem-solving skills, and creative mental skills of students. Lastly, the role of toys is important in early childhood education, where it helps to teach the general concept of science and associates them with events and objects in daily life. This is a few of toys that use the application of science concept. The first one is lava lamp, that use the concept of thermal expansion and Archimedes buoyancy. Second is plasma ball, where electrons emitted by the metallic surface at the center collide randomly with the excited atoms of a gas at low pressure. So that is the end of the first video. We will now move to the activity section. I will give the link to the activity session in the chat box. You guys can access the link and enter the game code. I will give the game code. Okay, now I am waiting for all of you to participate in the quiz session. If there is any problem, you can direct ask me, okay? Okay, this quiz session consists of 5 questions, and I will do a bit of brief explanation of the answers, and I will show 2 simulation of plasma ball and lava lamp because that is the example that I use in my video. I will give the link for the simulation straight away, but you can open this after the quizzes session ends. For the time being, there is only 16 students. If any of you encounter any problem, you can directly tell me. Okay, I think that is all the students that will play. We will start now. Are you guys ready? Ready. Okay, we will start now. Okay, this question is actually in the slide, and I explained about the definition taught by Prof. Sebastian Ditterding. It's okay, Fazrul. We will discuss about this shortly after. Okay, now Iliana is at the first place. I will purposely keep the answer so that you guys won't see the answer. Okay, now Naura is ahead of Iliana. Okay, which type of toy category is usually conducted outdoor due to its nature? This question is quite simple because you can straight away know from the answer itself. Okay, the statement below is the description of what category of toy. As we all know, we have 9 categories of toy and each of them have their own definition. So the range of common everyday objects are used instead of real toys to encourage children to explore whatever interests them the most. That description best describe what kind of toy. Is it imaginative play, construction toys, arts and craft, or exploratory toy? Okay, and the last question, one of the factors that need to be considered in selecting toys for effective science learning is in terms of their cost. I explained this in the few last slide because cost is one of the most important factor in choosing toys. Okay, is there any of you that have already finished the quiz? May I know?
Me.
Okay, I
No
think
question. Me too.
Okay.
Me too.
I think most of you guys have already finished. Let's see the scoreboard. Okay, the first one is Iliana. Congrats, Iliana. And the second runner-up, Duhat and also Naura. I can see that most of you got most of the questions correct for the top 3. And the rest is okay. We will briefly discuss. Okay, first is Iliana. Congratulations, Iliana. Okay, a minute, okay? Okay, so this is the summary of the quizzes. We will look at it together. Okay, the first one is, according to Prof. Sebastian Duterding, toys and games are objects designed to. I answered that purposely wrong so that you guys won't see my screen. And the second one is imaginative play allows children to do role play and act based on their experiences or act something out they are interested in imaginative play. It helps children to actually decide on how they have to behave, because according to the role play, they know what is the right action to do and what is the wrong action to do. Okay, while the third one is, which type of toy category is usually conducted outdoor due to its nature? It is actually sports and recreation toys. For example, slingshot. We cannot play slingshot in our house, so it have to be conducted outside. And the statement below is the description of what category of toy. This one also have the answer already. And the last one of the factors that need to be considered in selecting toys is for the cost. I explained this in the last few end of the slide, and the answer is so that students can acquire the opportunity to buy the toy and apply scientific concept to the toys. Okay, as for the layout simulation that I gave, I put it on the chat box. It is related to plasma ball and also lava lamp. Okay, so it is actually tools that teachers, you can also use it and teachers can use it to explain about science concept. You can click on the link and go, or let me present it. Okay, this is the plasma ball. Okay, in this simulation, you can play around where you can click on the ball and you can also add fewer of the light in the ball. And using this simulation, teachers can actually explain where it use the concept of noble gases, where noble gases is filled in the plasma ball and electrode is placed at the center, as you can see. And when electricity is supplied, the plasma, which consists of positive ion and negative electron, will emit electric current. Thus, teacher can use this simulation to explain about noble gases, electrons and ion. And it's also very interesting. You can add more electron in there too. And play around while explaining about the concept. Okay, while for the second one is about lava lamp. Okay, you can play around with the liquid also, just like the plasma ball. You can use this. It is very interesting so that you can catch student attention while playing this. You can explain about buoyancy and also density of the liquid. You can go to the upper left and play with the liquid, where you can change the color of the liquid and also the color of the glue inside the liquid. See, it's now purple. I can change to blue. So you can try this at home or after this. And as a future teacher too, you can use this simulation to explain about the science concept to your student. Okay, that is all from me. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Nurhawa. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning, everyone. I am Nur Syuhada and I will continue about advantages and disadvantages of using toys in learning. First of all, Toys can act as a universal language for playing in different levels of learning and cultural backgrounds. Simple toys can engage students to explore natural phenomena or a scientific concept in ways that will support their science learning. Thus, using toys also can provide motivational and experiential links between science concept and everyday experience for both students and teachers. Therefore, toys are useful for increasing student interest, assisting students to remember concepts, and as the basis of discovery activities to stimulate questionings and experimentation. Now, let's see what are the advantages of using toys in learning. Firstly, is develop student imagination and creativity. Second, encourage the development of problem-solving skills. Third, engage in exploring scientific concepts. Fourth, enhance student inquiry skill. And lastly, motivate student learning. Firstly, develop student imagination and creativity. Educational toys not only foster learning and growth, but also give students the ability to think creatively. It encourages students to think of original ideas and creative decision making. Assign toys present to the student with multiple options, with each bringing out a different outcome. It's completely on the student to which outcome they prefer. These abilities develop their capabilities to think critically and approach each activity without bias. This is a step preparing them for the professional world. So science toys represent an ability to look at toys from a science perspective and develop entertaining educational design using scientific creativity. Thus, students require creative thinking to acquire creative solutions. Secondly is encourage the development of problem-solving skill. As we know, learning a scientific concept or any subject might be a little bit difficult for different level of student or learners. The capacity of student mind to remember all the information might be limited or hard to follow up by the student. But by using toys in learning can encounter this problem if students follow the instruction of the toys. For example, magnetic rainbow fraction toys. This toy helps students to understand relationship between concept of fraction and percentage. Students can solve the question by demonstrating the fraction and percentage manually and able to calculate the answer. Within this, students are also able to handle real-life issues efficiently. Next is engage in exploring scientific concepts. Many studies have shown that learning using toys is an effective method of introducing or reinforcing abstract scientific concepts. Exposing them with learning toys at early age will encourage them to learn more and apply the science concept, since they are familiar and interested with learning toys. According to Cooper and Keys, toys are useful resources for making scientific concepts more accessible to children, as the age-appropriate concrete material that are relevant to student life, harness student interest, and link their own experiences to the task at hand. Fourth is enhance student inquiry skill. The use of toys to teach science reflects an inquiry-based approach to teaching and learning. Usually, these approaches are characterized by questioning, depth thinking, collaboration, and self-directed learning. Since the toys are constructivist aids, the student knowledge was constructed by making sense of their experiential world through a variety of tools, resources, and contexts, with learners bringing up their own prior knowledge and belief to their learning environments. Thus, toys provide a stimulus for knowledge construction through investigation and experiential learning. It also develops the skill required in scientific inquiry, such as questioning, predicting, and developing explanations. Lastly, motivate student learnings. Learning using toys can have varying teaching methods and generate much passion from the students who are usually excited by using the toys learning. In science, toys help bring science alive by making the concept concrete and relevant to the student lives. Also, as the applied concept of a toy are often assembled from a variety of subject areas. Teaching with toys also helps students to make connection in learning, particularly among different subjects. Not only are students able to build essential process skills while using toys, but it also encourages social interaction and gives rise to positive social development among the students. There are 3 disadvantages using toys in learning. Firstly is expensive cost. Learning using toys requires teaching aids or educational toys. However, some of the school or teachers are unable to afford all the educational toys due to the expensive cost. Secondly is time consuming. Learning using toys can lead to time consuming since there are students need to understand and apply the concept on the toys. Thus, it will become more difficult and tiring and more time consuming for the teacher if the class size is large. And lastly, student behavior. It is difficult to achieve the lesson outcome if the student refuses to cooperate with teachers. Students may be too excited and fun to play using toys and slightly directed them to having difficulty of paying attention and troubling the teacher to control their emotion and having difficulties in demonstration.
Okay, so we are done with watching the video. So did you guys understand the video?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I will start. I will continue with the activity session, which is I will use a platform Kahoot platform. So I already attached the link in the chat box. So I hope you guys can enter the Kahoot faster so that we will not wait you guys for a long time. So I will explain first. So this activity consists of 6 questions about combining about advantages and disadvantages question. So there is 5 MCQ and 1 false and true answer. Supposedly we have 21 participants. So anyone have a connection problem, you can say in the chat box so that we don't have to wait for you. So the main goal for this activity is to indicate your understanding about the advantages and disadvantages using toys in learning. So with the activity, we will know if you have a difficulty to understand the content or not. So we will discuss it about every question later. So I can see there is 13 people. So we are waiting for 8 people more. So I think this all will be joining us for this activity. So I will start activity now. Okay, there is only one person who answered it correctly. So, developing entertaining educational design using scientific creativity helps students to developing student imagination and creativity. This is because educational touch not only will help in foster learning and growth, but give student ability to think creatively. So it will encourage students to think the original idea and decision making. So without this, we have to develop their abilities to think critically and approach each activity without being biased. Okay, so I hope you guys are clear about this. Are you clear about this?
Clear.
Okay, so we will move to the next question. Okay, so we have Ati in the bottom, followed by Adlina and Izo. So next. Okay, there is one person correct. Okay. Okay, encourage the development problem solving skill is related to capacities to the mind. Okay, this is because for student capacity might be limited and it's not easy for us to remember all the concept. But using toys, it will help the student to remember the concept step by step. So it will encounter the problem. For example, if student follow the instruction of the toys, so student might not be remember the topic or the scientific concept, but by the toys, it helps student to remember it step by step. So that is will encourage the development of problem solving. So I hope it's clear. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, we move to the next question. We have Ati still on the top. Okay, Atika was followed. Okay, so the answer is student knowledge was constructed. Okay, student behavior mean in this question is negative student behavior. I think I should put negative first. Negative student behavior is disadvantages of using toys, which is the teachers can control the student emotion, which is the student will become too exciting to play the toys, and the lesson outcome will not be achieved. So it will less student knowledge was constructed. Okay, so we move to the next question. Okay, on the top we still have Ati and chased by Adlina. Okay, I can see everyone correct answer it correctly. So Ati is still on the top. Okay. Actually, questioning, predicting, and developing explanation is a basic skill of scientific inquiry. Because thoughts teach science reflects inquiry-based approach to teaching and learning. So in inquiry skill, there is questioning, predicting, and developing explanation. Is the basic skill of scientific inquiry. So we move to the next question, which is last question. Okay, we can see Adlina on the top right now. So there is a last question. Okay, I can see there is only 3 people answered. Okay, toys provide stimulants for knowledge construction through investigation and experiential learning. It's one of the enhanced student inquiry skill. Okay, that's all for the game. You can see on the podium. We have third is Iliana. Congrats, Iliana. Second, we have Ati. And lastly, we have Adina. So congrats to you all. So we have runner up Iliana and Ainura. So okay, so that's all. So we move with the second with the third presenter, which is Nurul Shafika.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Shafika binti Kamarudin. So now I will explain about the funding research part. So here are the articles that we use, which are Article 1, Open Source Tactile 3D Printed Interlockable Tiles Incorporating Valency, Bonding and Hybridizations for Molecular Representations for Sighted and Visually Impaired Students. Article 2 teaches perceptions of essential learning models to improve students' science learning achievement in secondary schools. And lastly, Article 3, Effect of Ball and Stick Model Instructional Strategy on Senior Secondary School to Students' Interest and Performance in Stereochemistry in Taraba State. First of all, let's take a look at effective practice of teaching and learning in science subject. Based on Article 1, it is about visualizations. In this article, it was stated that visual imagery has been an effective way to communicate both abstract and concrete ideas, which is an essential attribute for learning. This is because most of the concepts in chemistry are understood with visual and graphical representations. For examples, structure of an atom and also the distributions of orbital. Besides that, recently there was a report about log and key models to write and represent elements, ions, compounds, and also the complete chemical equations. So, based on the survey that have been taken in this study, all the students agreed that tactile-based teaching is better than only audio for improved understandings of science subjects like chemistry. Moreover, the students claim that if they have been provided with this type of models at school level, it will have helped them in a better understanding of science subject and also might have created an interest in the pursuit of science. As you can see on this slide, these are the examples of log and key models that be used to study and represent simple hydrocarbons like alkenes, alkynes, as well as much more complex carbon compounds with functional groups. This model provided are for all the possible combinations of single, double, and triple bonds. Other than that, this also helps in adhering to the fundamental principle for writing the chemical formula, where the placement of the element at the correct place is important and not its orientations. These models help students avoid such a common mistakes. For example, students know that hydrogen can bond it with oxygen, but hydrogens only form a single bond. So, by using this model, if the student wants to connect hydrogen with a double bond oxygen, they cannot because there will be no slot available to make those connections. Next, on the Article 2, it discusses about the type of learning model. Firstly, project-based learning. Mulyasa explained the syntax of the project-based learning model, including preparing project questions or assignments, designing project plans, compiling schedules as the concrete steps of the project, and monitoring project activities and progress. Project-based learning is known as a model centered on students and teachers as motivators and facilitators. Hence, students are allowed to construct their learning and use project or activities as the medium. Other than that, contextual learning model also have been mentioned in this article. According to Suprijono, contextual learning model is a concept that encourages the students to make connections between their knowledge and their applications in life and helps the teacher relate the material to real-world situations. For example, modeling, questionings, and reflections. Last but not least, cooperative learning, which it will be have discussions and exchanging the ideas during the collaboration process. For instance, jigsaw, team game tournament, and also the group investigations. On the other hand, Article 3 discusses about the instructional materials, which is a ball and stick model. Instructional materials are those materials used for teaching, whose productions and usage are activity-based, student-centered, interesting, stimulating, and innovative, and capable of creating interest. Now let's take a look at the ball and stick model applications. These models are used to show the shape of molecule following the Gestalt principle. The ball and stick model help better understand how each atom is connected in a molecule, and each show relative bond length and bond angle. The atoms are typically represented by spheres connected by roots, which represent the bonds. According to Brunner, involving the students to use the models that can expose the students to use to interacting with the environment, exploring it, and finding solutions to the problem they have in organic chemistry. Finally, we will brief on the challenges for teacher in implementing instructional teaching model or TOEICs. Based on Article 2, there are few challenges that needs to overcome by the teacher. Firstly, insufficient time allocations in employing the learning model and preparing the learning tools. This is because teachers have many things to do during the class, and it will be impossible for them to make instructional tools or toys for learning in the class. Next challenges is the limitations of practical tools and material. This is because it will be little hard to find the tools and materials of the toys or instructional model due to its cost. For the making of instructional model need a creative thinking and also should be provided a lot of budgets. Thus, it been one of the issue for the challenges of implementing instructional teaching model or toys for the teacher. Besides that, the various characteristics and background factors of students being the complications of producing instructional teaching model or toys by the teacher. In view of the fact that every student have different pace in learning and variety ways of study. Hence, the teachers need to be unique and inventive to ensure the teaching toys will be effective on learning for all students and accessible. Thus, it can avoid the misconception in learning science and increase students' comprehensions of this topic. So that's all from me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, so now I would like to divide you into 3 groups, and each group have their own challenges. So based on the challenges that have been given on the Jamboard, all of the team members need to brainstorm the way to overcome in order to have a creative teaching in science. So you have 2 minutes to discuss with your group members
After 2 minutes, you need to explain your answer. So I will share the link of Jamboard at the chat box. Okay, you may discuss now. So for the group that have been done, you can prepare for your presentations. Can we start our presentation now?
Yes.
Okay. So group 1, are you ready?
Mimi, I'm Fatini, will present group 1.
Okay.
Okay, for group 1, wait, okay, for group 1, our challenge is lack of time in preparing learning tools. So, we decide to overcome this problem by changing learning method from model instructional to gamification learning. For example, we use Kahoot or quizzes because I'm sure nowadays most of classroom has a projector or something like that. So student can be campur Malay sikit
sudah boleh jadi macam menarik lah, macam kuis, bukan just jawab kuis bulat-bulat atas kertas je. Teacher also enable to create surveys, questionnaire and obtain feedback from student in real time. Gamification is preferred in learning because it is increase the appeal of learning process and acquire new skill. Also, gamification able to keep user engaged in learning and help the student to achieve the objective of learning while having fun. Like the previous activity from the presenter, we use quizzes and Kahoot, so it's more attractive for me. And I think if it attractive for us as undergraduate student, it also will be attractive for high school student or primary school student. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Liana. And yes, I agree with your ideas. And thank you for all group 1. So we go to the group 2 first. Anyone from group 2 can present?
Me. And Izul.
Okay.
Okay, challenge when applying the learning model to science subject and the limitation of practical tools and material. So how to overcome the obstacle? First, the idea is we are replacing tools and material with objects that are around and easily available in life. Is it?
Yes, okay. For the point 2, we can use virtual lab can be applied due to limited facilities and infrastructure.
So for the point is the teacher can use analogy scientific concept such as density. That is the example concept in physics.
Okay, for the point point 2, this is because currently many virtual laboratories have been developed using certain applications such as fat simulation application.
The coin and put it in the water, then let them observe and see that the coin is sink in water.
Okay, next for the elaboration for point 2, this simulation allows students to complete laboratory experiments online and explore abstract concepts and complex theories. So that's all for group 2.
Okay, thank you, Isol and Adni. So before we end, we will go for the group 3 and I will make a conclusion. So group 3, anyone?
Me.
Okay, Shakura.
Okay, so I'm the representative from Group 3. The problem is expensive toys. So how to overcome the obstacle? So we thought of make DIY teaching tools. For example, we can make 3D models of sodium by using cardboard, thread, and colored cotton ball ribbon to explain the atomic model. So as you can see, I have attached a picture here for you to imagine how the 3D model look. And by making DIY teaching tools, the materials that used are affordable, and not only that, it can enhance student creativity by making their own DIY learning tools. That's all from Group 3. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Shakura, and all of you. Thank you, everyone. So I agree with all your ideas that presented just now. However, there are another innovative teaching methods in science which can subtitle the typical teaching techniques to achieve the goals such as the science station. So the teacher can use a science station method of learning on teaching to ensure the students fun in learning. So this is another method that we can use as a teacher in future when we conduct the class. So this is because there will be multiple stations built with different learning styles, and students can research, explore, and illustrate the science concept. So in conclusion, there are variety creative methods of teaching in science subject when there are many challenges to face if using model instructional teaching. So that's all from me. Thank you for your cooperation, and I will pass to the next presenter, Nurul Aina Sohab. Thank you.
Hello and Assalamualaikum to all of you. My name is Nurul Aina Sohab binti Abu Bakar, and I like to continue with an example of an educational toy that can be used in science class. I would like to share one interesting science toy that related to STEM education, which is Storm Rocket. Let's take a look at a video on how to play the Storm Rocket.
Ready, set, stop!
The original Stomp Rocket, 100% kid-powered.
Wow!
Challenge your friends and family with dueling Stomp Rockets. Launch 2 rockets at one time. Jump, stomp, and launch your rockets up to 200 feet in the air.
Whoa, that was so high! Mine was the highest! Yay!
Watch dueling Stomp Rockets soar up to 20 stories high. Stomp Rockets are strong and durable and great for active outdoor play. They've won lots of awards from industry experts, including iParenting Media, Dr. Toy, and Creative Child Magazine.
Ready, set, stop!
Stomp Rocket.
I love it!
According to the video, the Storm Rocket belongs to the category of sport and recreation toy. It was designed for children aged 5 and up. We are aware that the item will be costly for the students to purchase, with price range from 50 ringgit to 100 ringgit. The teacher can undertake an activity with the students to construct a storm rocket using paper and also a PVC launcher as an alternative way to make them comprehend without having to spend a lot of cash. Paper Storm Rocket is similar to the Storm Rocket toy in the video just now, but it is more appropriate for secondary school students. The Paper Storm Rocket is not the same as the real toy. It is a construction toy that is related to physics and science subject in secondary school. The rocket is simple to construct and only takes about 20 minutes. Aside from that, the materials required for the construction of the toys are cost-effective. Students must prepare a 1.5 liter soft drink bottle, PVC pipes, duct tape, and any papers such as an old magazine. The Paper Storm Rocket activity can be performed in groups or in pairs. And the interesting part, the activity will take place outside of the classroom. Now I will explain more about the procedure for construct a storm rocket. Storm rocket is a simple device that uses compressed air to launch the paper rocket. First of all, the students have to prepare the materials for the launcher and also for the rockets. When all the materials are sufficient and complete, we will continue to build the launcher. The launchers are durable and will last for years, and the plastic bottle is usable for 30 to 40 storms. Therefore, 4 sets of launchers are enough for a class of 30. Students have to put one end of the tubing into the neck of the plastic bottle and create an airtight seal with the duct tape. The third step, we continue to build the paper rocket. Firstly, we have to roll a tube of paper by using a PVC pipe as a support and secure the edge. The rocket should not be taped to the pipe and must just be able to slide up and down the pipe. Next, we have to build a flat nose cone by curl the nose cone from the semicircle and seal with the transparent tape. We also have to add 4 fins to the rocket by folding the index card in half and cut it along the fold. Next, tape the fin to the other side of the rocket. Lastly, the rocket will be launched. The position of the rocket is about halfway down the PVC pipe. The launchers are on the ground and we will slide the rocket onto the tube. Clear the area and a student will stop in the middle of the bottle and it must perpendicular with the PVC pipe. The air displaced from the bottle will launch the rocket upward and the rocket can fly as high as 30 meters. This is why we have to launch it outdoor. To relaunch the rocket, we must re-inflate the bottle by hold the top of PVC with your hand and blow until the bottle totally inflated. Now, I will share the educational values of this toy. Number 1 is the concept of conservation of energy. Energy can be transferred from the human to the storm rocket. It is transformed or changed from the chemical energy to motion energy when we metabolize protein and carbohydrates. Conservation of energy states that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It is transferred from one form to another. Number 2 is Newton's third law, where for every action there is an opposite reaction and forces come in pairs. For example, the force of the air being expelled from the rocket causes the rocket to move in the opposite direction with the equal force. Last but not least, students also can learn about Newton's second law in this toy. The upward trajectory is the result of inertia from the initial application of force. As described by Newton's second law, the greater the mass of an object, the more force is needed to accelerate the object. So in this case, when the rocket is heavier, it needs more force to be launched.
Okay, now let's move to the activity. I have provided 3 mini games that related to storm rocket. So now you can click on the first link to play the word search. It's a very simple mini game that related to the storm rocket introduction. Can you guys play the game?
Can.
Okay. So I also play with you guys. So let's find the important element of the paper storm rocket. you guys finish the word search? No, okay. It's very simple, right?
I'm done.
Okay. So, everyone is done?
I'm done.
Okay. Who are not done yet? Please raise your hand.
I'm done.
Okay, let's wait for a while. So, I think everyone is done with the word search. So, from the first mini game, you guys can get to know and recall back some of the important parts or the important elements of the storm paper rocket, such as the paper storm rocket is a low cost toy. It was conducted outdoor, and it has a launcher, rocket, and the rocket has fins, and it can fly, and so on. Okay, let's move on to the next mini game. You can click on the next, the second link, which is the match the material game. Next game. The game is about some rocket materials that needed. Can you guys play the game? Can make up. So let's play together. But is there anyone that can join the game or can open the link? If you can, you can hear me?
Can.
Okay, if you cannot open the link, then just we can play together. So the duct tape is used for the rocket material. Is it correct? Yeah. Then it's the next one is a soft drink bottle. So where we use the soft drink bottle. So we use it when we build the launcher. And for the PVC pipe, we use for also for the launcher. The scissor is used for rocket, and the paper or the example of old magazine is used for the rocket to boot the rocket. So everyone is finished with the
mash up game?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. You guys having fun? I'm sorry if it's a bit boring. So now we know the materials that we needed to use when we build the launcher and also the rocket. So now we continue with the third game. So click the last link on the chat box and we play some quizzes about science concept of storm rocket. So I think the question is very clear and very simple. And you guys done with the quiz, simple quiz.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyone else who is not done with the question? Adina is done. Okay, Mr. Kalia. Who is not done, can you raise your hand and we will wait for you guys to do the quiz. Okay, I did. Play with me. So, everyone is done?
Done.
Okay, I consider that everyone is done with the quiz and who get the full mark? Who get 4 out of 4?
Camelia, Miss.
Only Camelia? The question is very simple, right? It's like this changing the number of all configuration. This question is you can refer to the slide. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. And this is the larger the mass of an object, the more force is required to accelerate it. It indicates the Newton's second law. This I have mentioned in the video just now. Okay. So well done for those who get the full mark. So I know that you guys understand. You guys understand that using toys in teaching science is a success. Okay. That's all for the activity. So that's all from our group. I hope that you guys understand and acquire more knowledge about educational toys and you as a future teacher can use in your classroom with your own students in the future. So that's all from us. Please, thank you.